G'day guys and welcome to Primal Waters. Now this is part two to Australian large great white shark sightings locations. Now if you haven't seen part one, hopefully that should pop up above now, so you go check that out. But today we're going to have a look at three other locations that take place in Victoria and New South Wales. We'll have a quick look at those. I'll just give you a bit of a description about these encounters and the location. So these videos are more of so you can get a bit of an idea where these shark encounters have taken place in the past. So, and when I'm talking about shark encounters, I'm talking about the stories of very large great white sharks between the size of 7 to 10 metres in length. And in the previous video, we talked about Western Australia and South Australia locations as well. So we'll take a look at these. Now, most of these are stories that fishermen have encountered over the years. I think the good thing about these videos, we can talk about them. We can look at these locations because I believe that these sharks are out there. I think they're probably smaller numbers, and every now and then someone will come across these and all that. So we'll just have a look. So the first one we're going to check out is a great white shark that was nicknamed Big Ben. Big Ben is a great white shark that measured around about 7.6 meters in length, going by reports of fishermen. Now, this guy is a folklore for the coastal town of Port Fairy. It was pretty funny because when I posted this up on Facebook the other day, someone actually gave me a link to an actual song that is made about the shark. So I will link that down below as well, so you can go check it out. But Big Ben was around in the mid-70s, was a shark that was spotted by a lot of fishermen near Lady Julie Percy Island, which is located about, I'm not sure how far, but west of Port Fairy. Must be a great fishing grounds. A lot of sea lions and seals are on this island, favourite food to sharks. And apparently this shark, through the 70s, maybe into the 80s, used to give some of the fishermen a bit of hard time while they're out there fishing. And apparently this shark itself had a 2-metre scar down the right side of the shark. Now this shark hasn't been seen since, but it used to stalk these waters around this island here, which is quite fascinating. Now, you don't really hear too many stories about great whites in Victoria. I don't think has been too many shark incidents by great whites in these waters, but they certainly do have some stories, that even one now that dates back to and what's the year, 1860. Now the picture you actually seen here is the actual jaws of a legendary shark that was caught. It made the Guinness Book of Records as being one of the biggest great white sharks ever landed. The size for this was 11 metres, which is, I think, just over 30 feet. Now, this shark made the Guinness Book of Records, like I said, but there was a lot of debate on how big this shark really was. There was some gentleman, if I can find his name, Reynolds or something like that, who is a shark expert on sizes, did a measurement by using the actual jaws and the teeth, and with his measurements, it actually downsized the shark to about 18 or 17 feet in length. So there's still a lot of debate about it, but the picture you're actually seeing here is the actual jaws. Now, these jaws can be found at the Natural Museum in London, I do believe. So if anyone is watching this video is from the UK, you can go find these actual jaws and check them out yourself. So if you do that, feel free to send me a picture and send it to me on my Facebook page. But what you're seeing right now are the actual jaws to that shark, so which is pretty cool. So That's 2 locations in Victoria, and in the same vicinity as Big Ben as well. So there you go. Now, another one we're actually going to look at is Bryson Island. Now, most of you would have heard this story. There's a few videos out there at the moment. So Bryson Island is on the New South Wales coast. That's the eastern coast over here, which you can see. Not too sure, north of Sydney, north of Newcastle. And the story is told by a Australian naturalist, David Steed. And it's about a group of cray fishermen out of Port Stephens who were terrified to return back to sea for a few weeks after encountering what they believe was a 100-foot giant white shark that terrorized their fishing grounds. And this story is quite fascinating. There's a lot of witnesses to it. I will, like with the other videos I've done, I will link these stories down below so you can have a read for yourself as well. But there was a lot of encounters. Now, the size of the shark, 100 foot, I don't think he. Yeah, look, I believe in big sharks, but that big, I don't think so. But they're talking to about a 90 to 35 meter shark. So yeah, I don't think so. I'm thinking more around the 35 foot sharks, which is about 10 and 11 meters. But this is still a fascinating story because it was told by David Steed. He was the guy who wrote Sharks and Rays, and I think it's actually mentioned in there. But it's still a fascinating story. This is told by all the cray fishermen in Port Stephens over here, and I think this is something that is quite fascinating to learn about, actually. And someone did write to me on my Facebook page and say that this area is really, really deep water as well. So, but there's the island there, Bryson Island. Very cool. So that's 3 stories I've talked about on this channel before, but I thought it'd be really good for you guys to actually see these locations of these sharks sightings. So we've got over here in Western Australia, South Australia, Victoria, and New South Wales. And you can all have a look, see the locations which are the southern parts of Australia. This is the cooler parts of Australia. Mid temperatures. Up north here is your tropical part, warmer waters. Down here is where you find great white sharks. And as you can see, there's lots of stories of fishermen encountering big great whites. There's a few more I'll have to do a bit more research on and do another video on. I think part 3 for this search for big shark locations, I'll look at other places like New Zealand and the United States and stuff like that. But that'll have to come along in another few days. But there you go. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 locations that you may not have known. You may have heard about these stories, but now you know the locations in Australia as well. So there you go. And I live in this state here, up in the mid-north area up here. So, alright guys, that's it for this video. Thank you for tuning in. Drop a comment down below, hit that like button, share this video, and if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Make sure you check out my other shark videos. I appreciate everyone subscribing to the channel. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next